Testing, testing, 1, 2, and good afternoon or good evening, everyone. Lewis Davis of Lewis Legacies, and welcome to Face the 7. Yes, that is our new series, Face the 7. And I'm so glad you are on this evening, or for those of you who will share this or watch this later on, thank you for coming on. I was in a rush to get here, excuse me, while I try to take care of a few things right quick. Okay. We are going to jump right in today. And I know you know about me, and the reason why I'm doing this is for you, the listener, especially for those of you who are 14 to 22 years old. I'm looking out for you today, starting today, and I told you we're going to run this table for the whole month, for the whole year, school year, for you to come on. I want you to come on here every week and have something to tell us about as far as your school week. You know, you have actually completed 3 weeks of school. Wow, let me say this, giving thanks and praise and glory to God. I can't forget about Him. I wanted to start it that way, and I should always do that. So if I don't, charge it to my head, not to my heart, because God is first in my life, as I hope He is yours. I hope you enjoy these weekly conversations on Monday. They won't last always. They'll only be 30 minutes unless the conversation or the DMs and questions get good and you just continue to do what I ask you to do. And come on and ask questions and tell me about your day. Tell me about your week. Let me know from week to week what's going on with you. You will see videos from me again during the week. You will see me post for you information about topics. All this week is the week of adversity. You will hear about people talking about adversity, hear me going through situations that I had to deal with growing up and being in school. I want you to really invest yourself in this platform. This is your platform, young man. This is your platform, young woman. And I don't want you to be ashamed about it. We want you to talk about it. And we want you to be about it. Okay? If that's what it takes, then that's what we want. We want you to come on and make sure you are enjoying what we have to offer you, and that is information, motivation, inspiration. Yeah. And I'm really excited about being on again. We're going to take this to a new level. Ladies and gentlemen, young man, young woman, you are my core. But if anybody else wants to come on, I'm not stopping anybody. But this week is about you, young man. This week is about you, young lady, who's going through something. Let me turn this up a little bit more. Who's going through something right now. That's much better. That's the me I want to hear. And you don't know how to deal with it. Let me tell you right off front. It has been a long time since I've been out of school. I don't mind saying that. Yes, as you look at the top of my head, the gray hair is there. But it's okay. The thing is, I'm still young at heart. And the most important thing is I have children that I had to pray for them, take them to school, watch over them, make sure they had what they needed in order to succeed. I'm very proud of all my daughters. I have 3 daughters. Yes, I'm a dad's girl. They call it a daddy girl, a dad's girl. I'm a girl dad. I'm sorry. I'm a girl dad. So it's going to be something different for me. But I have nieces, I have nephews that I'm helping to raise or trying to help raise. I got a couple of them in college here in Chicago. They go to UIC. I'm very proud of them. I got a couple nephews here. One of them in the south suburbs, one of them in the city, in high school right now, and they're doing their thing on sports teams. I got nephew coming up. I got 2 grandsons that's coming up. And I'm not just limiting this conversation to young men only. Young woman, I know what you're going to go through. I had to do it 3 times. And I'm so proud of my daughters, even in spite of the fact that I wasn't there all the time. And I don't mind saying that. You know, sometimes in life you have had to go through some things in order to get to some things. I tried my best to provide for them the best I could. I love the fact that they became who they became, and I bless their mom for being there for them when I couldn't be. You know, because without her, they would not be where they are. They didn't or wouldn't have been raised the way that they were. And so I could never talk bad about her and because she raised them. And my former wife, my first child, my last child with my former wife, they raised my kids, my daughters. Not that I wasn't there. And young man, I want to tell you that it is something to be there and to have a father figure in your life. I didn't have one. But I'm not knocking him. You know, we do things because we do things. And sometimes there are no reasons why except to the person who did it or who's doing it. I'm very proud of my dad to the point that, hey, I wouldn't be here without him. So whatever happens, I'm not blaming him, no finger pointing at him, nothing. Because without him, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have had a chance to come here. And everything I say happens for a reason. Somebody used to tell me there are no accidents or coincidences. And so, yes, I believe that. There are no accidents or coincidences. You're here with me today, or you're going to share this message, or you're going to listen to these 30 minutes and say, boy, this was good. To talk about going through some of the things that I went through. So let's jump into it. As you know, I am an author of not one, but two books called Define the Truth and Overcome It Anyway, volumes 1 and 2. And they deal with a lot of different topics. And so each week when we come on, we're going to be dealing with a lot of different topics. And I don't know if you all have seen my t-shirt that I'm going to be previewing and showing you in the coming weeks. And I'm going to ask you to think about something right now. You have been through 3 weeks of school already. And I would love to know, how has that been? What obstacles or hurdles have you faced so far? Is school easy so far? You haven't had much homework, or you're overwhelmed with homework. Listen, in addition to all of that homework you're going to get, there are those of you who are a part of school activities. There are those of you who are on sports teams. So there are those of you who are going to not only be doing your homework, but you're going to go through practices and training and listening to people like me come in and give you inspiration and motivation. You're going to go through a lot of adverse situations this year. This weekend alone, you're going to go through some things that you are or may not be prepared for. But that's what we're here about. That's what we are about here. In school, as a young man, it was tough. I actually went to Hyde Park Career Academy for my freshman year. So at 14 years old, hey sis, at 14 years old, here I am going on another side of town. You know, it's something when you think about the fact that a lot of people don't even move out of their own part of town. Everything that they do is in that one area. For me, I grew up in Inglewood, and I'm proud of my part of the city, Inglewood. I talk about it all the time. You will hear a lot more about Inglewood. You will see Inglewood here because I'm going to put some Inglewood people on. And just a couple of weeks, as a matter of fact, it wasn't even a couple of weeks. Last week, I was on a podcast, and a very good friend of mine has a podcast called Let's Get Into It. And she's on, she brought me on last week on Thursday. And we had a really good time reminiscing about growing up. And if you get a chance, check out that podcast. It's called Let's Get Into It. And we talked about being raised up in Inglewood. And the Inglewood that you hear about, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the Inglewood that I know. Now, I know that Derrick Rose, when you hear about the you sit part of a city called Inglewood, you think Derrick Rose. For most people that grew up in Chicago, when you see or hear the word Inglewood, Derrick Rose is the one that's mostly associated with that part of town. But now I am. So Derrick, can I borrow that stage with you for Inglewood? Because I shout out, man, we even mentioned it yesterday in church, and Melissa Conyers Urban, she said she grew up in Inglewood. And you know, a lot of us are in the church on 95th and Ashland. We thought, the wood, you know. But we are so proud of being from Inglewood. And so the Inglewood that he grew up with, and I'm not saying that we didn't have any adverse conditions, because a lot of us didn't have a lot of money. A lot of us didn't have things that were happening in our favor a lot of times. And I'm from a big family, young man and young woman, so I got that to bring to you too when we talk about going through adversity. I'm from a big family. My mom had 10 kids. As of July 31st, there's still 7 of us still alive. You know, unfortunately, I lost my sister on July 31st, and God rest her soul. But my sister, we went to the same school. I followed in her footsteps. And so if I had any adverse conditions or anything that I didn't understand about growing up in high school or grammar school for that matter, because I'm talking to you too, you 14-year-old that's in 8th grade and you're going through that last year of grammar school, you're getting ready to step over and go into high school, you're going to go through some things too. There are going to be some times when you're going to have to deal with adverse conditions. But here's the reason why we do this. And here's the reason why I'm so grateful for all my sisters. I have a big family, you are, so you're going to be hearing a lot about my family. I have a lot of sisters. And I love my sisters because as a man, we could talk to you all we want about being a man, but we can't give you the perspective that a woman can. They give you the perspective of how to treat a young woman, young man. So I hope you're listening to this. And so you have to give them their respect. And when you do, you get it back. Don't think you don't. In order to get something, you have to give. You have to sacrifice. And that's actually one of the chapters in my first book. I talk about sacrifice. But you have to sacrifice some things sometimes to get some things that you want in return. And that's part of what's happening when you're going through adverse conditions. So if at one time or another you're having trouble doing a homework assignment, pick up a phone. Homework is easy if you paid attention in class, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you miss the meaning, the point, the moment that teacher gave the exact formula or the exact reason why something happens. And it's okay. I want you to know, young man, young woman, you are not alone. And that's why I say I thank God for all of my sisters. My family as a whole, and not just my family, my friends, my neighbors as well. Don't think you are alone when you're going through something you don't understand. The world has not been reinvented, young man, young woman. We, me, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your uncle, your auntie, somebody went through what you are going through right now. If you feel like you're struggling with depression, these are some of the things that adversity or the adverse conditions that you're going to be dealing with during these first few weeks of school. Don't worry about what people say or think about you, because I know there are going to be times when you will. That's what adversity brings. It brings a moment of confusion, distraction, of doubt, of fear, of wondering if you fit in. So you're going to go through adverse conditions this week. I want you to remember this for next week. When you're going through something, and you will, think about this. Number one, you are not alone in what you are going through. All you have to do is ask somebody or tell somebody about what you're going through. And if that person doesn't give you the answer, go to the next person. But the one thing I want you to know is you are not alone. And you matter so much to us growing up in Inglewood or Chatham or on the west side, because that's where I work, on the west side of town. You are not alone in this thing called life. So don't you ever feel like you can't talk to somebody when you're going through some of the things you're going to go through. Somebody may talk about you because they don't fit, you don't fit what they think they are. You heard what I said. You don't fit what they think they are. You might be better looking, more skilled, more talented than them, and they'll find something negative to talk about you or to say about you. And they will do that to try to bring you down. But the thing I want you to remember is, don't you dare shrink for anybody. You don't have to go through these conditions, number one, alone. You don't have to go through these conditions thinking that there isn't a solution. There is a solution for every problem you have ever or are going through right now. This is why this platform is on right now. You got to understand, we are here for you, young man, young woman, who thinks that you're less than, or who has less or little self-esteem or self-confidence. We are here for you. Number one, you matter to me. I'm going to need you one day. And if I can talk to you to get to understand you more, please let me. Please allow me. I actually did that the other day at the gas station. I was filling up the bus for our company. And these three young men were walking past the gas station. And I called them over to me. And I asked them, I said, hey, young man or young men, I'm trying to get to know you. And I say, how would I get to you? How can I get your attention if I wanted to do videos like I'm doing right now? What would I do? And they started throwing out some things, and I'm scratching my head. It sounded great because that's what I wanted to hear. But unfortunately, it was some stuff that I didn't understand. And I will do it again because I want to learn my children. I want to learn my young adults. I want to learn those who have crossed over 21 into adulthood, or 18 young lady into adulthood. I want to learn you. And I want you to learn us. I know that when you think people like me, the folks that's 50 plus, well, for me now it's 60 plus, we're disconnected from you. But the good thing is the word communication. And this is why this platform has come and been placed in my heart. Because I want you to tell your friend, your classmate, your cousin, your little brother, your big sister, hey, there is a place that we can go to get some answers to our questions. If you're depressed, you don't have to be. You could tell us about what's going on. You can write it in here. You can DM us and say, hey, Lewis Legacies. Because on my website, www.lewislegacies.com, that each week as you face the 7, this week being adversity, and you will, there's going to be a place to come. There's going to be a place that you can talk to or put a question in on my website at lewislegacies.com. Because I want to answer your question. I want to get your question answered. You matter so much to me, young man and young woman. You matter to us because you are the next generation, Gen Z. I still don't understand what that means. Maybe one day you all will explain that to me as well. And that's why I'm doing this. There's so many questions I have as a 60-year-old, and I think that I'm disconnected, but I believe I'm pretty well connected. But I love the fact that you will give me the opportunity to open the door for you to come and talk to us without being judged. I promise you, we will not judge you. If there is something that is bothering you at home, we may not have every answer. I may not be able to give you $1,000 if you need one, but I may be able to find a resource. I may be able to talk to somebody. I may be able to bring up something or start something that can help answer some of the questions. You know, when I was with my former company, one of the last acts that I did was we hired young men from Perspectives on 35th, I think it's near Cottage Grove, and the one on 81st Street or over there in near where Inglewood High School was. We went there. I believe that's where the other one was. And we hired a lot of young men. And this was their first job. And you only had to be 16 years old. So I want you to know the experience that I got from that was mind-blowing and life-changing for them. Number one, because it was their first job. And can you imagine having to go through a situation at home where it looks like your mom or dad or both your parents doesn't seem like they can afford what's going on in their lives, and then you, the 16-year-old, steps up and brings home a check every 2 weeks for $400 or $500, and you now can help pay a bill or pay two bills. And your mother or father or mother and father can lean and depend on you. And I know it's not a big responsibility to the point where it should be you carrying a family. But the responsibility of having that and knowing that you're contributing to life of your parents, your little brother, your little sister who's looking up to you. Think about that for a second. As you're going to go through some of these things this week on adversity, you have somebody to talk to. Talk to your teachers. Talk to your counselors. If you are having problems and in class you're not getting the answers that you need, there are other resources. There are tutors that are available. There will be resources that we will bring to you on here if you have a problem. But I don't know, and I won't know if you don't let me know. Promise you, we can find a way to get around your low self-esteem, your feeling of depression, you fighting that you don't matter, or the homework may seem to be difficult, or you don't want to go to school because somebody's talking about you, or there's a bully bullying you. We do have answers. We do have resources. We do have prayer. We do have a God who can answer anything. And sometimes, young man, young woman, let me tell you a little bit about God, because I don't want to leave him out of this conversation, because I'm getting ready to close in a couple minutes. You may feel sometimes that he's not there. As a Christian, it is up to me to actually tell you this, because people, they don't want to rely on God because they ask questions like, if there is a God, why does he allow bad things to happen? If there is a God, why did that person get shot and killed? If there is a God, why is all these shooters going around? If there is a God, why is this man in government doing what he's doing? Why is he allowed to do all of these things? Let me first tell you that there is a God. And he loves you. And if nobody else tells you that he loves you, let me be the first to tell you, he loves you. And then let me follow that up by saying, I love you. And then let me tell you that you're going to go through things because this is called life. Things are going to happen because a lot of situations are because of human thinking. God is not a God of disorder. He is not a God of chaos. He is not a God of terror. He is not a God of malice. He is not a God of jealousy. He is a God of love, of mercy, of grace, and of favor. So I wanted to make sure that you understand that Jesus himself said in Scripture, in this life, you will have trouble. So, young man, young woman, don't think that things aren't supposed to happen or aren't going to happen. I want you to hear this from me and others. Things will happen in life because of human decisions and thinking, not because of the way God thinks. When bad things happen, it wasn't something that God purposed to happen. Because God said, I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So it is not God's will or design for bad things to happen. That, young man, that young woman, is a decision that a human being makes on his own or her own. We make the decision to go against what God does. So in closing, let me say this. Remember, this is going to be your 4th week of school, and I want to hear from you. I want you to pass this word, message, this moment, whatever you just consider these 30 minutes to be, on to somebody else. And I know a lot of people are watching the football game, go Bears, but still, this is necessary for me. I had to do this. No matter how many people look at this now or maybe catch it later, this had to be done. Because you are more important than that football game. Your life is more important than whether the Bears win or lose. Because after the game goes off tonight, you still have to go to school in the morning. So be careful. Watch out. Protect your friends and loved ones. Make good decisions. And when things look like they are not going the way you want them to, the adverse conditions, the adversity, like I had when I was going to grammar school, missing my bus stops, and when I was in high school, waking up on the other side of town, things like that happening to me, just trying to make it through everyday life. Things are going to happen, young man and young woman. But if you make it home that day, which I pray you do, and God forbid anything happens to you, because we really need you, thank him that you made it home. Thank him for your homework. Thank him for everything that you know. Thank him for every opportunity that he's going to give you. And know you are important. You matter. We see you. You are valuable. You are valuable, young man. We need you. You are valuable, young lady. We need you. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. A new series every Monday at 7. It's called Face the 7. And I have a call to action for each of you. You will see my shirt this week, and there's going to be 7 obstacles on it from this book. This week is about adversity. And if you're going through something and you overcame adversity this week, do me a favor, like I'm going to do. On Friday, I'm going to wear my t-shirt that says, "Are you ready to face the 7?" There's a big 7 in the middle, and around it is each one of the obstacles. The obstacles are adversity, acceptance, decision-making, self-confidence, patience, limitations, and change. If you are dealing with one of those this week and you overcome it, wear an orange t-shirt for me on Friday, and I will try to make sure that I get these shirts out, and I'm going to start giving them away. I got them in orange shirt with black letters and a black shirt with orange letters. They really look nice. I'm sorry I didn't have it on today, but I was trying to make sure I got here at 7 o'clock because I had someplace else to go. But I promise you next week you will see it. But if you are going through something and you overcome it, take a picture and DM me or show me on my website, lewislegacies.com. And I'll give you a shout on Monday of how you went through something and you overcame it. Wear your orange t-shirt for me. So this week it's orange. When you go through something, put on the orange t-shirt. When you overcome it, keep that orange t-shirt on and say, I overcame adversity. Thank you for listening to me. Sorry to keep you on. I know you're watching the game, but pass this message on. You can get through your adverse conditions, just like the Bears. Go Bears! Let's go. And I'll see you next Monday. Are you ready to face the 7? Prove it. And let me know what adversity you overcame this week. Peace.